wrote in the sand. And as soon as he stood back up and said, "You would without sin cast the first stone," they all started dropping their stones and walked away. Now, it's my opinion, it's not in scripture, that he wrote down a scripture from Deuteronomy that says you must bring the woman and the man and stone them both. They just brought the woman. So automatically, right there, the law would have been void right there. So there's several times when he's like, okay, you know, Moses said this, but I say this. He wasn't overriding the law or the Torah. They were trying to find loopholes. He was showing them where the loopholes are going to fail because of scripture.
What Deuteronomy thing did you want?
Well, I'm taking it on my footnote. It says Deuteronomy 5:16.
Okay.
And then the Exodus, the commandment is Exodus 20, verse 12.
Actually, Deuteronomy 5:16 and Exodus 20:12 are the same, but let him die the death is Exodus 21:17 and Leviticus 29,
Okay,
20 verse 9.
I'd like to make a comment here on this, when he was talking about Moses says, honor thy father and thy mother. The actual scripture says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long
Yep.
upon the earth. Now, what this was actually, this honoring thy father and thy mother, it was actually taken care of in their, when they get older. Okay, and what they were doing was they was giving away their money and things, and where they didn't have to take care of their parents.
Yeah, by saying it's a gift to the temple or it's a gift to
Exactly.
Yahweh.
Exactly.
Give to
This is what
Elohim,
was going on.
Because it's a gift, I came to give it to you, to mom and dad. It belongs to Yahweh. It belongs to Elohim.
This is what was going on here.
I can use it while it's still here, but it still belongs to him.
What he actually says in Matthew, said they were paying tithes on mint and common and that. He said, you're doing this, but you are omitting the weightier matters of the law.
Right.
He said, these you need to do and not to leave the other undone. He didn't say that they were wrong doing that.
Right.
He said, but you're not doing the weightier matters of the law. You're paying tithes and you think that that makes you holy. See? But you're not keeping the law.
And if you,
And he said, you better keep the law, because that's what you're commanded to do. And continue to pay the tithes.
yeah, wasn't it the apostle Paul said that, look, if you sin in one part of the law, you've done the whole law.
Yeah,
That's
Absolutely.
what-
Absolutely. All right. We're in chapter 7 still. Now, he's talking about telling them, now this is something that, here's what a lot of people will take. They will read this scripture here, verse 15, where it says, there's nothing from without a man that can enter into him can defile it. See? But the things which come out of him, those that can defile it. They say, fine, I can eat anything I want there, right? But he wasn't talking about food. He was talking about out from you.
And that just goes to show the human heart's always trying to find a way
Oh, yeah.
to avert the responsibility of the rest of the text with one verse of scripture to justify what their heart really wants to do. So if your heart really wanted to obey Yahweh, you'd say something that doesn't sound right. There's not 2 or 3 witnesses to this. Let me see what the volume of the book says. Genesis and Revelation, and you'll find out that that's not what he meant at all, because it can't be what he meant, because it goes against these other 10 plain scriptures. So the hearts, though, of especially Western Christianity, they really look for excuses to get around anything that has to do with responsibility or obedience.
Well, what he was talking about, dirt.
Well, he.
Dirt entering into you
Right.
is not gonna defile
Because
you.
you're dirt.
So me, like a lot of people, I live by the 5-second rule. You know, when it hits the ground,
Wow.
if I can get it
10.
before the 5 seconds, I consider it okay.
Can water defile water? Can dirt defile clay or dirt, what we're made out of?
Versus,
Camera went off.
versus 18
A little bit of dirt never hurt.
18 through 23, versus 18 through 23 is what describes those things that come from inside of a man that defile.
Sister Sarah definitely don't live by the 5-second rule. If it hits the dirt, if it hits the ground or the floor, she's done with it. She don't even want it after it's been washed. It's out of there.
Hey,
It's all right.
I think a little dirt does us good.
I don't know how many of you all know Sister Sarah. Sister Sarah lives with us now, where she takes until she gets things right. But she's a blessing. She really is. We enjoy her having her. She's awful quiet. I can't hardly tell she's there. I go out and look outside, see if her car's there.
You know,
Is Sarah here?
Get you.
Go out and look and see if her car's there.
I just am.
See how I tell.
just as a friendly reminder that our Father reached down into the dirt, got his hands dirty, and he created us from that dirt. And, you know, it's okay to get dirty, a little dirty every now
And they,
We're basically claymations.
and then. Claymation.
they said, let's.
Yesterday I was,
Some of us are half baked.
Some of us get dirtier than others.
I've had said a mouthful.
Woo-hoo. If Paul had to worry about dirtiness, he had to get a new career.
what David just said reminded me of a little song that came to me yesterday. I'll try and sing it for you. Don't let me forget where you found me.
Yes.
Help me remember that you reached way down. Let me walk till I get good sore. Let me work till I grow weary. But don't let me stand without a star in my crown. But you're right. He reached down into the dirt to get us out.
But first, he made the dirt.
True.
One other thing on that note, the very first commandment was not thou shalt have no other Elohim besides me. It was in the garden, he says, and he commanded the man to go back and till the ground from whence he came. So the very first commandment said a man should work.
All right.
So if people ain't working and you're a man, well, that's you got to be tired of it. If it's don't work, you don't eat.
And what are the things that do defile? See, he brought it out. Verse 21. For within out of the heart of man proceeds evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, theft, covetous, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness. I used to be able to say that.
Lasciviousness.
Lasciviousness. An evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and this last one. I'm afraid we're all guilty of that. Especially me. I've done that a couple times already tonight. Foolishness. Yeah, foolish talk. Teasing, kidding. These things are not good.
So scripture says, don't say unto your brother Raka, which was like a jesting,
No, you fool.
you
No
fool.
fool, you empty-headed, unable to learn, stupid. Yeah.
Basically call someone stupid or something that was not nice, you know.
All right, now in verse 26, there's a woman, she was from the Greek places, but she was not Greek. She was a Syrophoenician. She was a Canaanite She was actually a descendant of the Canaanites, who were evil people. And she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. And Yeshua, I believe, showing all of those around him, showing them well, it doesn't say so here, but in Matthew, it says that he refused to hear her. He ignored her and refused to hear her. And his disciples came and said, well, just run her away, you know? But she cried out the more. And Yeshua said, let the children be filled first, for it's not good to take the children's bread and cast it at the dogs. But she humbled herself, which I think is a very good example. She humbled herself, which shows us that even Canaanites, if they can humble themselves, which they're very unlikely to do, but even they, if they humble themselves, can receive from the master. And she answered and said unto him, yes, master, yet the dogs under the table, they get the scraps that the children drop off. I want some of them scraps. I realize that I am not Israel. I realize that you're not here looking for me. I realize that you are coming looking for your people Israel. But the little scraps that fall off their table, I want some. Humble myself. And Joshua said, and he said unto this, for this sake, for the humbleness that you have shown. So you're what? You have received your petition. Isn't that really something? Great lessons. Every one of these things, great lessons. Comments?
Yeah, Syro-Phoenicia was underneath the Greek Empire at the time, or what we would call under the influence of the Greeks were Greece, but just like the Roman Empire had provinces and had places that they had control of, there was still synagogues and places where Paul went, there was already synagogues established. And so just because she was in the realm of Greece or the Greeks, her nationality was Syro-Phoenician, which means she wasn't really a
She
Greek.
was a Canaanite, but she was living
Right.
among the Greeks.
Right, just like we have North America, Central America, and South America, someone from Mexico or Brazil is not called an American. These is part of, and people within the United States, if they're from Mexico, they're still called a Mexican, but they're living in the United States.
For nationality, I mean,
Those empires kept changing hands, Rome and Greece, Assyria, Babylon. Someone would go and wage war, and the borders